Season 2, Episode 8 of the H-Town Rundown. I'm Nick Thiel.
And I'm Gabe Grimm.
And we're your hosts.
In this edition, we'll be taking a look at new state mandates, prom, March Madness, athletics at HHS, and other things happening in the community.
First up, we have more information on the new governor issued state mandates dealing with code recommendations.
I, for one, am very excited that things are starting to look more normal.
Let's go to Parker Keener with Principal Jay Parker, no relation between those two, for the HHS update.
Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson recently released some new directives that might change how things look here at HHS. I'm joined in studio by Mr. Parker, who will explain these new guidelines and how they can affect students at HHS.
Well, thanks, Parker. Yes, Governor Hutchinson, he did reduce some of his directives down to more of a guidance model for schools and the community to follow. And you know what that did for us, it allowed us to go ahead and have prom and graduation as normal. So we're able to do that, and we're happy to do that. The big thing here is I think we got to really move slow. Governor Hutchinson has provided us some guidelines to hit, some goals, if you will, that he wants everybody to hit before he totally reduces the mask mandate. So I think we really need to move slow and not get too overly excited. We are all tired of masks and social distancing, as everybody is. So our COVID numbers right now, they're as low as they've ever been, even when it first started. So I think, and there's a reason for that. We've done a really good job at HHS, wearing masks, keeping social distancing, close contact tracing, and that's the reason our numbers are low, and they're getting lower and lower every day. So we don't want to do something that's going to cause that to flare up. We're very concerned with spring break coming up. The school will be out for a week. We know families will travel. So we're a little bit concerned with that because right after we come back from spring break is our ACT Aspire testing. You know, this past week we just did our ACT testing for all the juniors, but then the week after spring break, all the 9th and 10th graders take our ACT Aspire test, which that test is what grades the school. And, you know, we're pretty anxious about this test because, as we know, learning took a hit this year. So we're trying to keep students healthy. We're trying to keep students in school so we can have the most students possible show up to take that test. So because of this, we've been saying no to a lot of unnecessary activities. We're trying to keep only the travel limited to those that have to go, such as your athletic events right now, which, by the way, congratulations to the Lady Goblins being in the Final Four of the state tournament.
That was an awesome game.
Yes, it was.
That was amazing.
They'll face Boylton tomorrow morning, so great job, Coach Williams and the Lady Goblins. So shout out to you guys while we're talking here. But we try to say no to some of these unnecessary activities. You know, we missed 2 weeks due to weather, so we missed lots of learning there. All these things tie into our ACT testing, our ACT Aspire testing. So, you know, the last thing we want to do is open up so rapidly and get really lax in our guidance and our mask and our social distancing that we have a big flare-up, which could cost us to lose prom again or lose graduation or project graduation or senior breakfast. You as a senior, that'd be devastating to you. So we're trying to really say no on some of these things. And the big thing is, you know, administration, we have to make lots of difficult decisions. And most of these decisions, they're unpopular at this time. We know students want to travel. We know the parents want to see them go. But we just sometimes have to make these really hard decisions in order to support learning, in order to support our school, in order to keep kids safe. And so we're really just asking that everybody support those decisions. Even though they might be unpopular with you, we're just trying to make those decisions. So we want to keep our seniors. We want y'all to have those final culminating events to really signify your senior year. So we're trying to really focus on that finish line, mid-May, you know, late May, and that's what we're looking long-term. Instead of looking at the now and today and tomorrow and next week, we're trying to look long-term, and we're trying to make those decisions based upon that. So this has been a challenging year for all of us, and like I said, we have to make some really unpopular decisions, some really hard decisions we don't want to make, but that's what we're paid to do. And so we're just asking for that support and just some grace when we have to make those decisions. You know, Dr. Pratt and I have even talked about a lot. It's not like we have a playbook I can open up and look about what the former principal made, you know, decision he made during this time, because this has never occurred before. So we're all learning and growing and trying to make these decisions as we go along. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Just ask for that support. Ask for students to continue to wear your mask. Be aware of your surroundings. Social distance the best you can, and hopefully we can finish strong this school year.
All right, Goblin Nation, you heard it here from Mr. Parker. We need to stay strong. That way we can continue to hopefully get to have prom and graduation like Mr. Parker said. Thank you for joining me today, sir, and stay tuned for more GobTV.
Wonders over the new mandate is the possibility for us to have prom.
Yeah, I'm very excited to go to prom.
Do you have a date yet?
I do. How about you?
Indeed I do, Mr. Graham. I guess we aren't going to sulk in crippling loneliness this year, yeah?
Yep. Let's go to Stella, Satterwhite, and Shay Cowles with the prom preview.
I'm Stella Satterwhite with GobTV, and this is what prom will look like this year.
As of right now, so we're under guidances still from the governor up until March 31st, when the mask guidance or mandate will be reevaluated. So as of right now, if prom was held today, yes, we would have to wear a mask, but we're still waiting further directives. Prom is open to any Harrison High School junior and senior. The charge for this year, there is no charge. As in years past, we've always charged junior dues, but for this year, so we're not charging anybody to come. If you bring a date that is not in our school district, you have to pick up a form. The form has to be approved by Mr. Parker and then returned to myself. If any junior or senior wants to invite a Harrison High School sophomore, I said that person has to come to me to put their name on the list. We will be checking names at the door. Said sophomores, if your name's not on the list, we will not let them in the day of prom.
Prom is Saturday, April 10th. It will be from 8:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. The theme for this year's prom is Enchanted Garden. It's free to get in. The cost is free, so you won't have to pay anything at the door. The only thing is you do need to make sure that if you are bringing an outside date, that you fill out the form that Coach Cowling has so that we have them on the list. Freshmen are not allowed to attend at all, and sophomores can attend only if they have a date who is a junior or a senior, but we'll have to get you put on a list as well, so that way we know you're coming. The prom committee meetings we've only had 2 so far, since we just found out that we can even have prom. So that kind of varies. We do have a group that's already gotten together to start working on prom stuff, but if you are interested, please just shoot me an email and I can let you know when we have the meetings. They kind of vary right now. We've done some in Gob time. We're going to start some after school. We just have to watch the school calendar and make sure that there's no conflicts. With GobTV, I'm Stella Satterwhite.
Up next, we're going to take a look at the Elle Co boutique, which will not be on the square much longer.
Here's Brooke Boyd and Alexa Ramsey with the story.
I'm Alexa Ramsey with GobTV, and I'm here to talk about the upcoming closing of Elle Co Boutique, their future on social media, and how the pandemic has affected their small business.
Well, I'm Michelle Ramsey, the owner at Elle Co Boutique, and have been doing this since 2014 off and on, and we've had our second location here on the square in Harrison, which was kind of something that I wanted to do because I wanted to kind of bring down the downtown back up and make it better and get more businesses down here. So we've been here for 3 years, and I would say that the hardest part is that the lack of local support. It's the truth, and it kind of hurts, but it really is. I see people, they run to Branson, they run elsewhere to Amazon, all these other places, and with the situation with coronavirus, I feel like a lot of people got used to shopping online. So what we're going to do is we're just going to move online and see how that goes, but not enough people walk in the door to sustain the bill, so it just isn't smart to continue to have the storefront open. It's sad to say that the situation in town is that a lot of people just don't shop local, and it really does hurt the small businesses. People complain and beg for small businesses to come, and when we do, people don't support us.
So after the store closes, Michelle and I have looked at an office space and stuff, so we are going to be social media marketers and be posting for other boutiques on their Facebook, on their Instagram, and kind of help them sell their products and let them get their name out, because we kind of had a hard time with that when we were open, and so we're hoping that we're able to help all these other stores achieve their dreams.
There is going to be some closing sales. We have 30% off the entire store starting Saturday, and then I'm sure there's going to be some other things popping up before March 20th. That is our last day because we're going to use spring break to kind of clean up the store and get everything in line so we can get out of here.
Elle Co will be closing on March 20th. With GobTV, I'm Alexa Ramsey.
Cheer tryouts are just around the corner here at HHS.
For those interested in trying out, watch this next feature.
HHS cheer tryouts are around the corner.
I think that the biggest change this season will be, hopefully, it is a lot more normal back like it was in 2019. So last season we had a lot of challenges and obstacles to meet with the restrictions from the coronavirus. So hopefully next season, one of the biggest changes that you'll see are less restrictions for the cheerleaders and all the athletes actually.
My favorite memory from tryouts from previous years is the bonding that takes place during the practices and especially in the locker room before the tryouts. Everyone is nervous in the room and we all get together and hype each other up, which makes us less nervous.
Since I tried out when COVID hit, the year was very limited, but Christy tried all she could to make it as normal as possible. But overall, the year was great, and I felt very welcomed, and all the girls were very sweet and kind to me. I love cheering. I've grown up cheering and tumbling, but I feel like the cheer team is more of a family than a team.
I would make sure to start practicing early. Don't wait till the week of or the week before to start practicing because there's a lot of material that you want to go over and you don't just need to know it, but you need to know it really good and try to perfect it before you come to tryouts.
Information packets can be found in the front office of the middle school and high school. The material for tryouts that you need to learn comes out March 19th. Tryouts are April 23rd. From GobTV, this is Olivia McGuire.
Thanks, Olivia McGuire and Colette Campbell, for all the info on cheer.
Next up, we have a little March Madness segment with GobTV's own Andrew Durst and I.
Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to our GobTV March Madness preview. So in this segment, we're going to take 10 teams that are going to make the tournament, and I'm going to ask Gabe whether they're pretenders or contenders. So the first one we're going to start with is Arkansas.
As much as I hate to say it, they are a contender.
And yes, they are. They're going all the way, and I'm predicting it here first. All right, the second one is maybe a favorite of this man, repping his little Collinsville stuff. It's going to be Oklahoma.
I am from Oklahoma, if you wouldn't know. So I'm going to take the Sooners to be contenders. I want them to win, but I don't think they're going to be the winners.
That's fair. I mean, I would personally call them a pretender myself, but that's just a little bias, I guess. Third team we're going to take, probably the number one favorite is going to be Gonzaga.
Gonzaga is a contender. They are my favorite to win. I can't see them losing to anybody.
I think that's very fair, except for Arkansas. And our next team is going to be Baylor.
Baylor, I also have as a contender. I'm not going to cap. They are a very good team. Not as good as Gonzaga, but they're up there.
See, this is a little more of a hot take for me. I'm going to call Baylor a pretender. To my one Baylor fan out there, it's true. And next one, we got Alabama.
Pretender. You barely beat us. Boomer Sooner. You're not that good. Arkansas is better than you.
I mean, that's true, but being a little worse than Arkansas is, most teams. So I think Alabama can make a run. They've got the talent. And I'm going to call them a contender. And so our next one is LSU.
LSU, I know nothing about their basketball team, but I do know that the Lord himself, Joe Burrow, is from LSU. So I'm going to go ahead and say they are a contender.
Yeah, they're not that good. I just wanted to they're not bad. They're going to probably make it about a 9 or something. But they're all right. We'll see. So I'm going to still go pretender. Now we got Michigan.
Michigan, I do think they are a contender. I think they're projected to be a 1 seed. I think they're going to do pretty good.
I agree. Michigan is definitely a contender. And now we have another Big Ten team, probably Michigan's biggest rival there, Iowa.
Iowa, all I know is corn. I'm going to say pretender.
I think they had one of their best players got hurt, so I'm also going to go pretender. And then we have another, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a pretender. It's Missouri.
I'm going to go pretender because he said that.
Good choice. And our last one is Texas.
Texas, I hate you. Horns down, Boomer Sooner. You're bad. Texas is a pretender.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. Screw Texas. And so we'll see you once the brackets are out and the seating is ready to do our bracket preview.
We'll have our complete bracket breakdown in the next edition of H-Town Rundown.
Lady Goblin and Goblin track teams begin the season with a home meet this week.
Let's go track down Claire Clavey for a look at track.
Goblin track opened their season this week. We talked with Coach Everett and some of the athletes about what to expect this season.
Two guys really had a good season so far, Jamin Smith and Christian Horton. They've both been working really hard, and they've been placing pretty consistently. I expect both of them to have a really good performance. My goal for the team right now, at the beginning of the season, my goal is just for every single person to come out and compete and do their best, and then we'll go from here.
What are your goals as a team this season?
To win conference.
Honestly, I think I want to get better at hurdles.
I do the 4x100, the 100, the 4x200, high jump, and long jump.
The track teams are on the road to Green Forest Tuesday. Good luck to both teams this spring. For GobTV, I'm Clavey.
Track wasn't the only sport in action this week.
That's right. Baseball, soccer, and softball all played. Take a look at this week's spring sports update.
Good morning, Goblin fans, and welcome to this week's Goblin Sports Update. I'm Nicholas Steele.
And I'm Jackson Parker,
and we're your hosts.
It's been a busy week in spring sports.
That it has been, Baby J.
Harrison's very own baseball and softball teams recently played their first few games.
Yes, sir, they did. Baseball, according to Max Preps, has a winning record on 3 games so far in the season of 2-1. They have 1 win and 1 loss on the road.
Softball, on the other hand, is 3-3 this season, and while they have yet to play at their home field, there's plenty of season left and longer days ahead.
That's facts, baby. But last but not least, we got Goblin Soccer.
That's right. Our Lady Goblin soccer team is currently 3-1, taking a tough loss 4-0 to Siloam Springs.
And it hasn't been an easy start for any of our guys on the field. With a record of 0-3, they took a heavy loss from Siloam Springs at 5-0, and an even worse one from Berryville at 6-0 and Rogers at 5-1.
Coach Cowling said they are improving and learning every day and preparing for conference play when they return from spring break.
That is absolutely right, Baby J. My main man, Jace Barton, might be starting here soon as goalie for our Goblin team. Our Goblin guys play this Friday night, so you're not going to want to miss this.
And last, but certainly not least, in fact, most importantly today, the Lady Goblin basketball team has officially made it to the Final Four in state.
I watched the game Thursday. It was intense.
Facts, Nick. After losing to Farmington twice in district and regionals, the Lady Goblins have battled their way to the Final Four after beating Star City coming from behind to secure a semifinal appearance, 62-57.
Very good, Jackson. The Lady Goblins will play again on Saturday with the disadvantage of playing at Morrison's home court.
They will face the Devil Dogs at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and GobTV will be live with the game, courtesy of the folks at Remax Realty.
Good luck to Coach Williams and the Lady Goblins tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for this week's Goblin Sports Update.
With GobTV, I'm Nicholas Steele.
And I'm Jackson Parker.
And we're signing off. Well, that's going to be all for this edition of the H-Town Rundown. I'm Nick Thiel.
And I'm Dave Grant. And we'll be seeing you